Hi guys, welcome to Saltwater Saturday on Life of Gaz. This is where I aim to put a new sea fishing video on every Saturday at 5 PM. Hey guys, welcome to Life of Gaz, and today I'm fishing out here on the Gynn wall. Now, a few people ask me why there's never anyone fishing down this bit, and I think it's because you're not allowed to bring cars down here, whereas you are at the other end. But I like this little area, and it does produce some nice fish for me, so I'm going to stick with it. Now, having said that, today it isn't the best weather. It's just turning round from the east to the north at the moment, which is going to hold the tide out, and it's going to mean that the tide's going to come in fairly slow, and I won't get as long fishing on it as I normally would. Having said that though, if you look out there to sea behind me, it is flat calm, and it's probably better for dolphin and seal watching today rather than fishing. But that being said, I've gone out and got myself some bait this morning, so I'm going to give it a go, and fingers crossed we're going to see some fish today. So just whilst the tide's coming in, any of you guys who go out on the beach low water in will probably be aware of this, but anyone thinking of it, this is why this beach is dangerous. If you have a look up there, we've got a gully which meets just here, there, and that little patch there, you'll end up with the water just filling up, and then it'll cut over the top of that bank. Now if you look, we've got that nice tall bank all the way out. We've got someone here who is hopefully going to try and cross that instead of carry on all the way up there, because what you can see further up the beach there is it's actually started to flood, and it's just broken in over the top of that bank just there, and luckily this person is getting the right side of it. But how lots of people get caught out on Blackpool Beach is because when it floods from just here, it'll come in, it'll track all the way down here, it'll move across in front of me, reach this point, and then break over the top there, which will give you a great big bank of an island out in front of me. So anyone coming down on the beach, bear that in mind, because it can be a little bit risky. Now going back to what I was saying about that sandbank, I've had enough time to set up, and where I said that wave was going to break through, it's just broken through there. So if you were left on that sort of sandbar right there, in a moment you'd be on an island, you'd have to paddle back. If you left it a bit longer, you'd have to swim. So just going to go through the rigs that I'm going to be using today, and if you have a look here, I've got 6 ounce weight on. I've got my standard place colours down there with a bit of a spinner blade on it. I've got the golds on here, and at the top I've gone over to something I use a lot in the summer, especially sort of May, June time, is a floating attractor bead with a spinner blade above it. Now why I use that is because at this time of the year the sea tends to go fairly clear, and hopefully I'll be able to show you that out there a little bit later on. But if you look out now, this isn't the dirty brown sea Blackpool normally sees, this is lovely sky blue. Now also on this side I've got an anchorless lead just here, and I've got some very small hooks on. These I generally use for sole fishing, and I'm not sort of convinced that I'm going to get a sole or anything today because we're midday. I like to fish for them as it's going dark. But that being said, I've got a 2 hook flapper rig, both exactly the same with the size 2 hooks, and I'm going to fish this in quite close to begin with, and then once I've sort of exhausted that option and we've got a little bit of a depth of water here, what I'm going to do is change over to an up and over, because I've got some crab bait as well, and I'm going to punch that out and fish for maybe about an hour and a half before high water with those crab baits, and see if they pick up anything. As well as the crab, which I mentioned a little bit earlier, which is in this box defrosting at the moment because it's frozen, left over from last year. I've got some worm that I dug this morning. I've got 18 of them in there, but I've left all the guts in them, so these are what people call swimmers, and hopefully that's going to give them that extra bit of attraction, because like I said, the conditions today aren't exactly favourable, but you're not going to catch them sat at home. So that is what I'm pinning my hopes on today. Well, there you go guys, sitting static didn't work, so I just crept this in along the bottom, and about 3/4 of the way in I picked up a little flounder. He's only tiny, but I'm going to go and get him back, and it does put me off the mark, so I've beat the blank. So we're getting a bit of a depth of water here now, so I think it's time to change over to the up and over rig, and I've got a bit of crab and worm wrapped together on there. So I'm going to stick that out there and see if there's anything which wants to take it. Okay, so now I've got crab out. Obviously this time of year there is a chance of a smooth hound. Still a little bit on the early side for them, but they are about. A few people have already had them, so hence why I'm throwing one out there for them. But when people see my videos, I get comments of people saying, oh, just be careful, you don't get a smooth out and run off and you lose your gear. So I'm just going to show you, because lots of people mention the fact that I put my tripod legs up on the wall here. Now I do that, but also I've got a bungee attached here, and that's anchored off to a little ring just down there underneath the gate. So obviously the tripod isn't going to go anywhere. Now the rig that I've got out with the smooth hound on, the bait on, which could pick up a smooth hound. If I was to pick up a smooth hound, it was going to run off. I've also got the clutch down on my drag here, so it'll just pull line off and should hopefully hook itself without taking my rod over. Now if I do get a smooth hound, it will lift the rod butt up, especially if it's a big one, but all in all, the rod should pretty much stay where it is. Just sort of letting you guys know, that's what I do when I'm fishing. I know I don't always explain that, I just sort of show pictures of my rod stand legs up on the wall. Well, after a little flounder on the first cast, I've got a dab about sort of half an hour after high tide. So the fish are really making me work for them today, but I'm not blanking, so it's always good. I'm going to go and get this guy back and carry on. So I just want to show you guys this. It's for anyone who is interested in the sea, because last year at this time everyone was blaming the fact we had no tourists, and the lockdown had essentially made the sea a lot clearer. What I can tell you about it is really the sea clears up at this time of year. We don't have a huge amount of algae, and also it's been easterly for quite a while, so it doesn't stir the bottom up. So that's why you see the sea clearing up just like it's doing now, and it will get clearer than this over the next few weeks if the weather stays in the east, but it'll be sort of end of May, mid-May somewhere where it really starts to clear up usually. Well, unfortunately that was it for that session. I've had to run home, but all being said, it was always good to get out. Now if you've liked this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button just here. Check out my latest fishing video on this side and my sea fishing playlist up top.